Greetings. Welcome to the podcast. I am American Werewolf in Kiev, coming at you from the start of World War III. I am Mediocrity 4.
Wow. Impressive that you're able to survive those ICBM attacks. Truly impressive there. Those werewolf genetics, very good. It's me, high powered, a man who has not been electrocuted at all today. So don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yes, and riding in on the back of an intercontinental ballistic missile, it's me, Coop.
So, Arcane Season 2 is still going.
So it would seem.
I'll just say this up front. These 3 episodes, definitely the weakest batch of episodes. I'd say with both overall, that includes the first season.
The weakest batch of episodes so far.
Yeah, it's never
Yeah.
too late. Well,
Until they actually end the series, at which point it would be too late.
well, yeah. But yeah, we still got one more batch at least, and I think that's it because I've not heard anything to disprove the notion that this is the final season. And you know what this reminds me of? You remember Young Justice?
Bro, dude, don't even get me started on Young Justice, man. The TV series that like it'll spit out a season, but then it'll get canceled, and then it'll somehow just come out like a few years later for a new season.
So this might for the younger among you, or for those of you who just merely forgot. This might seem a little weird, but Young Justice only had 2 seasons for a very long time. It had, to my knowledge, it had like a 5-season plan. Like they wanted it to go like just as long as like the Justice League animated series. But after that first season, which was like a really well done, put together first season that showed like the origin of Young Justice over the course of that season, they were basically told that they only got 1 season left. So instead of like just doing a direct continuation of Young Justice, they skipped ahead 5 years and did the final season as season 2 and so they spent most of that second season just explaining what happened during that 5-year time jump. And it made the show like really uneven, and a lot of people complained, and it did end up getting canceled. And it was canceled for many, many, many years until an online petition convinced Warner Brothers to greenlight a season 3, and that's been kind of like cyclical, where there's like this is just one last ride, and then Arcane's not there yet. But I bring up Young Justice because there's a time skip again here in this batch of episodes.
It's like a 1 to 3 month time skip.
It's the exact amount of time is not really discernible, but it seems.
Nor is it important, but there is a time skip.
Yeah, it could have been like literally 1 day. That's everything is just immediately happened.
Yeah, that would be weird. I would not even really understand the point of that. But
Vi took the breakup with Caitlyn really hard. That was like a really bad crash out.
Yeah. Caitlyn's not doing much better. She's basically been adopted by Ambessa. Jinx is playing mommy with the fucking, what's the kid's name?
It doesn't matter. Fuck it. We're gonna call it.
It does matter because
it's
like,
Aisha, I think. ISHA.
She plays like a really big important part at the end of this batch.
Yeah, she might be dead. Who knows?
I don't think that was an important part at all. I think she was literally she was basically just like, oh, here's a cute kid that we're gonna kill to make you sad. That's basically all she does.
Yeah, they're like, the writers are like, hey, Jinx, you know how like your brain's starting to heal a little bit? Watch this. Cox gun shoots child. Oops.
It's like the cheapest fucking thing. They didn't even have to hire a voice actor for it. It was that cheap, what they did with that kid.
It's like that bit from what's that one show where it's like the talk show that's like a parody talk show with
Talking about
uh
Space Ghost.
no, it's a real, it's the one bit where it's like where the guy pulls out the gun and like shoots the other black guy
Oh,
sitting in the
gotcha.
chair.
The
Oh,
subpar lower tier in
It it was
imitated.
on Adult Swim.
yeah. What I know what show you're talking about. I remember other bits from that show, mostly because it got memed a lot. Like
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
a
I ever
meme.
watched. Like I don't think is it Eric Andre?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Eric
the
Andre.
Eric Andre
Said
show.
it.
That's it, or something like that. It's with Eric Andre,
Yeah,
and it's like,
like
oh,
I
why
never
would the
watched it, but I've
yeah?
seen the memes.
It's only worth it for the memes. The show itself is not that great. Space Ghost was better. Watch Space Ghost if you want to watch a comedy talk show from Adult Swim.
But the season opens up basically with what it's like Jeeks and Aisha are together, but they have
Well,
like a big, they have like the
it
opening
opens up. It
credits.
opens up with a montage of Caitlyn going full Gestapo on Zahn.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's prison camps and everything.
you gotta
Everyone's getting sent to Alcatraz.
you gotta walk in straight lines through a checkout thing. It's crazy. It's like being in a grocery store, but all the time.
Hey, at least you won't go hungry. Yeah, because they have that to start up with. Is it no? It starts out with Savika's trying to get Jinx to like show up to a meeting, a rally that they're having.
Well, no, she's not trying to get her to show up. It's like she basically uh sort of just gets up in front of the guys randomly and is like, "Hey guys, I know that you Jinxers, because apparently Jinx has her own cult following now. Even though
Somehow, I don't really.
yeah, yeah, no,
I feel like there's some the middle pieces missing there.
yeah, but she has those. There were the old gang members of the gang guy that Savika herself killed are also there. Uh, Apparently fine with her getting up in front of them and making speeches. Uh, and then I forget there was like a third faction. Oh, right, the Fireflies
Yeah,
guys.
the
Firelights.
firelights.
Yeah, those guys that are also not in their tree hideout. They just sort of wander around the city randomly and show up in crowds too. Um, they're also there for reasons. And these are apparently now the three main factions of Zon uh, that are all sort of like equally downtrodden because Zon has now been taken over by Piltover. The dynamic between these factions never comes up throughout any of the rest of these episodes. So this is really the only time that they ever actually matter.
Yeah, and considering that Echo is still MIA, I don't think that's gonna come up again.
I doubt it. I don't know what they're gonna do with any of that really.
Yeah, this whole fourth episode was kind of jarring, not just because of the time skip, also like Violet is nowhere to be found in this episode. We don't get any follow up on Jason this episode.
Heimerdinger, Echo. I know Victor's in it because he heals. That's whatever his cult's getting started up in the fourth episode.
He's mentioned, like his cult is mentioned again by the furry lady that was working for Mel. Not quite sure how she ran into Victor, but apparently she did off screen. But that's all we got from Victor in this episode. Victor comes up much bigger role in episode 6.
Yeah. Anyway, so Sabika has her little rally thing, which immediately gets cracked down on by uh, the forces of Piltoverian extremism.
Which
Yeah,
what were they expecting?
Like, well, I think they were expecting to, like unify and come together as true Zonites to topple the oppressive Piltover guys. And like
And Nox is like, hey, watch this. Is they just beat everyone up and arrest everyone and call it a day.
yeah. At which point, Singed decides to let a little bit of his blood out to let his mutant werewolf thing know that he has been captured.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Yeah, this do
Oh,
follow a bit of the format of that freaking foreshadow meme. I'm not sure where that meme originates from. I know it's recent, but it's like oh man, I love the subtle foreshadowing, and it just keeps cutting back and forth between what's happening now and what's about to happen in like 30 seconds.
I love that meme context. It's so great. It's perfect for the brain rot kids. I grew up on YouTube poops and Gary's mod videos. These kids don't know anything with their like skibbity toilet and like TikTok brain rot. Okay, so
Oh, high powered. I think you forgot to crack open your white monster there.
I've got a Modelo enchilada like in my hand right now. I'm having a very good time. Yeah, so they all get arrested. Uh, Savika escapes, and that's whenever she goes to
Jinx again.
Jinx again to like try and convince her. And Jinx and Aisha are having kind of like a cute little like mother
No,
daughter
no,
like
no, 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 no.
wrestling. Oh
That
wait,
that
is
was that was earlier. That was when Savika was first coming to Jinx to talk about the rally in the first place. Aisha was at the rally and got captured, and it's her capture that convinces Jinx to
that's it?
break into
Yeah,
prison and go full impel down.
I swear I've watched this series, guys. I promise. It's kind of hard to remember all this stuff.
okay, so the young child actually does have more than one use. I forgot about that part too.
Yeah. Also, we kind of skipped how Caitlyn is banging the Penny Polendina looking ass officer chick.
Oh yeah, she's the rebound chick.
Yeah, the boy the I say boy band. There's only one guy in the group, or two maybe. I don't remember. The whatever fish looking dude is completely irrelevant. They're all irrelevant except for Caitlyn and Violet. But we do see in episode 5 that Violet is with the big Xander lookalike, who looks so much like Xander. I thought it was a flashback at first. They're like, oh, is that Xander and like Violet's mom or something? No, it was Violet and the big burly dude she was drinking with a
Who I
couple
guess
episodes
also
ago.
decided to
Yeah,
kill cops just so he could drink more, probably. I don't
yeah,
know.
that was episode 5. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like Caitlyn has her crash up, but that's jumping ahead.
It's like, mind if I crash with you?
I sent Muti, you should check
Oh,
your
I
DMs.
saw it. As people are listening to this, that image has already appeared.
I don't think anything happens. Like no other characters show up because I think it cuts pretty much straight into the rescue scene whenever they break into the prison. They do the classic bit of whenever they sneak in and like, oh look, there's Bessa right there and Jeeks is there and like her blue hair like it's peeking out her helmet. Oh, is they gonna figure it out? Oh boy. And it doesn't happen. So like
Yeah,
and
it's just to help build tension. Like it's
yeah.
very deliberately like, ooh, are they gonna do something? Are they gonna do? And then it doesn't happen. Like okay, that's pretty standard Hitchcock suspense stuff.
It's a classic maneuver. It checks out.
Then what I actually like about that sequence, kind of jumping a little bit ahead, is that Mbessa is still like thinking about it, and as soon as she puts it together, the fucking werewolf shows up. So she's
Yeah.
not able to do anything about it.
Yeah, she's literally like walking out. It's like, did I leave the stove on? And then the fucking werewolf shows up.
Get that feeling like you forgot something bad at the house, and then, Wolf pops out. Like,
It's look, it
Happens to
happens
the
to the
best of
best
us.
of us. Yeah,
Oh, we
dang it. You know what they
we're on
say?
the same
Great.
wavelength. We're like fucking
Yes,
hex tech over here.
yes, yeah. We are being disrupted or anything, or creating like weird demon spawns or whatever. But yeah, Singed uses his blood to summon Vander, Warwick, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah,
Um,
I already told you this before we got started, but guys, I got spoiled. I spoiled myself. I have no one to blame but myself. When I was editing the last week's podcast, y'all brought up like Wolf Boy, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna find like League of Legends, Wolf Man, and then literally the first thing that popped up was is Xander gonna return? And it was like a year old article. It was like, is Xander going to return in Arcane as a werewolf or whatever? Like, oh god damn it, he totally is. That's what's gonna be. Oh man.
I
And then
think
that
it's
that is what happened.
I'm kind of at this point just wondering how exactly he's going to change his name to Warwick. Like that seems like a very random name change to occur at this point.
Yeah, I don't know anything about League of Legends, so I'm at
The
a
only
loss
thing
there.
about Warwick that can be known is that he's a wolf guy named Warwick who kills people. That's literally it. Look him up on the League of Wiki. That's what they'll tell you about him.
We'll get more into that later. Caitlyn is going like full conspiracy theory mode, which she already was in season one. Actually, season one, episode 4, was when we first saw her with the pins and thread and all the pictures, trying to connect everything with Silco. Now she's trying to like connect everything with Jinx,
Jinx. Yeah,
because
she's even selling like water filters and female vitality medicine. So, she's really committing to the bit of being a conspiracy theorist and a humble water filter merchant and and hormone booster
I'm sick of them
merchant.
putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay, and I'm the frog. But yeah, that's when
And th-
we get the other council member, the crippled one. They say his name in one of these episodes, and I wrote it down somewhere, and now I can't remember. But he doesn't last long. Like as soon as I wrote down his name, he fucking died. So whatever.
We'll call him Cripple Bill. How about that? Old Cripple Bill.
Yeah, old cripple Bill gets told about crackhead Jesus by the
oh,
the furry
Sallow.
lady.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Vieira Lest.
yeah, that's he's also crashing out pretty hard here on the couch. He's not taking his demotion from by Mbessa very well, and so yeah, off screen he goes to see crackhead Jesus Victor, and that pops back up in I think it's episode 5.
There's a post-mortem scene with Mbessa, Singed, and Caitlyn, like post prison break, and Singed is just chilling in the prison cell.
Yeah, his wolf prison break plan didn't work to get him out of prison like he hoped it would. So he's just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, he's the only one who doesn't try to. I don't get that either.
He was like, that was
Friendly
my
advice to the audience. People like Singed in real life are extremely useful, but there are also the people that you don't ask any questions, you just shoot them. You just kill them. Like that's the appropriate solution to Singed is it's like, oh, you got him captured? It's like, why is he still alive? They have a talk there, and I think it's Caitlyn wants.
Yeah, that's in the next. That's actually in the next episode. The
Oh, it's in the next
yeah,
episode.
episode 4 ends with Vander Wolf, which Vander Wolf is a cool name. That should be his name, but
shut
it's
up.
not.
It's Warwick, dumbass.
I don't give a shit about League.
Neither do I. I don't even think I've played his character.
I
But
used to name him when I played him.
yeah, he busts into the prison, tears all the guards apart, tears apart a lot of the Jinxers and stuff that are also trying to escape. Then he and Jinx have a bit of a battle, and Savika helps out, I guess. And then he like grabs Jinx by the throat, pins her against the wall. It's like roaring in her face, and then he like starts to calm down when he we get like his POV and sees that like he knows that it's powder, and that that's where we get the revelation that it is in fact Vander.
which I don't like. I think Vander was way better off being dead, and I think it would have been way better if Warwick really was just Warwick and he was just a wolf that Singe had made to bust himself out of prison. I don't think he needed to have any sort of backstory or anything. I think it would have been much better if he was just like Singe's lackey that he had mutated into being such a thing.
And then
They needed
episode
some particular reason to have him not kill Jinx in that moment. Just have her win the fight somehow. I don't
Or
like.
just have Singed team up with Jing, like have him be like, no, leave her alive. She's fine. I like her. I like the cut of
Yeah,
her jib. Let's get out of here.
something like that.
she reminds me of my daughter
I guess his wife at that point.
or wife. Are they clear if it's his wife or his daughter?
I can't remember.
Uh,
I
but
don't.
episode
Yeah, I don't think it's ever explained like who the. Yeah, we find out that Singed is Mr.
Mr.
Freeze.
Freeze.
Yep.
Ugh, that hurts me on like a weird level.
What do you not like Mr. Freeze?
I don't like I feel it's kind of cheap. I like the fact that Singed is a wanted war criminal in both Leipzig and Nuremberg.
But why was he a wanted war criminal?
Because
Was it enough that he just kind of was, or does he need to have backstory and motivations to? This is
look,
the thing.
I watched the Tankfish video, and that phrase is in my head. Okay, so let's go on to episode 4.
You
So
mean 5?
if yeah, episode 5.
Episode 5
If
is
member,
basically just Violet's crash out.
yeah, it just starts out with Violet's crash out, and you don't really need to go any further than that. It's just like a 5 minute. It's all no. It's like they have like a music video cooked in with it too. It's like 2 to 3 minutes
Yeah.
of a music video, and then like another 3 minutes of like a stylized cut of her crash out, and then Jinx shows up. And the way that Jinx shows up, it kind of implies that like Jinx has visited Vi before, like during her crash out, from the way that that conversation goes. Like it doesn't. It seems like this isn't the first time the two have like just ran into each other.
Well, I think
That's just the vibe that I got from it.
well, if you've got like a cult following of people dressed like you going around everywhere, and it might have caused some sort of weird thoughts to occur inside the drunken Vi, but I don't know.
I'm not sure either, but yeah, the sisters reunite. Jinx tells them about Vander, and then we get Detective Caitlin on the case here. Again, a lot like some stuff we saw in season 1.
Put together
Just like with
those.
the conspiracy board, like we only saw like Detective Caitlin go like full freaking detective mode once in season 1, and now we get it once here as well, where she's like looking at all the evidence and putting it together in her head and using that deductive reasoning to piece together what really happened.
I do appreciate how Caitlyn is like trying to actually figure out what's going on, and that could like that's talk that's episode 6 talk right there, but that would like kind of help reason out what she does in episode 6, but we'll cross that bridge whenever we get to it.
Sort of. I don't. I don't
Sort
know.
of. I still don't buy it though.
Yeah. Well,
There's a few issues
know,
that I have with this like these 3 episodes, and that's a big one right there.
her trying to reason things out would work better if she ever actually came across any evidence for anything that was happening instead of just having like a string board. That's kind of like part of how a detective thing has to work.
Yeah. Well, that this is a common problem with writing smart characters is most writers aren't smart, and so they just kind of give their detective slash smart characters just plot precognition where they've read the script.
Because then it leads into Vi convincing Caitlyn to come with her and Aisha to a mine to find Vander again. They're kind of having a bit.
Jinx and Aisha convincing Violet.
Yeah. Jinx and Aisha convincing Vi to show up.
There's a lot of fucking characters in the show.
Yes, it's like Jinx and Vi. It's mainly coming from Vi. Vi is not having like any of Jinx's shit. Like Vi is so crashed out.
I forget why exactly did they need to go find Victor and his cult again, or
no. Well, I think
what?
that's towards
Vander.
the.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's episode 6. But basically that they go to Victor because they think that he might be able to cure Vander of his
Right.
lycanthropy.
So at this point, though, Jinx tells Vi that Vander is alive as the werewolf, and convince. Okay, yeah, I was getting the two confused. That's why I was like, "What?" So yeah, they need to go hunt him down in the mines because I guess that's where he would
Because the
be.
children yearn for the mines.
Yes, like that commercial for the new Minecraft movie. I yearned for the
Dude,
mines in Jack
I've
Black's voice.
never seen like public discourse of a movie turn around so quickly based on a single line. Because man, the Minecraft movie looks horrible. Just pointing that out. And everybody was like giving it a rightly due shit when that first like teaser trailer dropped. But then when this new trailer dropped and it opens up with Jack Black saying like, "When I was a kid, I yearned for them," I was like, okay, this might actually be good. You got me. You got me there.
It has a cute bee. I like the bee.
Yeah, Mbessa and Caitlyn, they find Singed and they question him. He's not cooperating at all. And then we get Mel.
Yeah, Mel is trapped inside of a pocket dimension with her brother, who may not be her brother.
He's
Yeah,
not. We're gonna say it. It's he's not actually her brother.
yeah, it's not her brother. Mel gets taken away to I don't know what they called it. Yeah, she's trapped in the Shadow Realm. She's not in a good place. She's having a very bad time.
Apparently, they have her trapped in what is initially told to us by an unreliable source to be some sort of ancient gladiatorial pit. Uh, I don't know where. I don't know where it's at. Nobody does. Um, for and the reason they have her there is because of her being a, a product of an ill-fated union. Let's just put it like that.
That's that's what's implied with the conversations that go on between Mel and her supposed brother. Like there's really like my problem with Mel is the stuff that is happening to Mel is like happening in a vacuum.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
mean,
don't
it kind
think
of goes back to that problem you guys really pointed out in the last podcast about how Silco was so heavily involved in every single plot line, and a lot of these plot lines are happening like so distant from each other. Like none of the other characters know anything about what's going on with Mel. None of the other characters knows anything about what's going on with Jace. None of the other characters really know what's going on with Caitlyn and Mbessa. Like they're all just separated and
which
not
I
involved with each other.
like this is like a lot of shows have like one season that's kind of like that, before everybody kind of like regroups back together after that. But considering that this is like the last season of this show, I don't know how exactly they're gonna get that figured out.
Yeah, like I said, it reminds me a little bit of Young Justice. It reminds me a little bit of Ruby Volume 4. It reminds me a little bit of the last season of Castlevania on Netflix, where you had the 3 or 4 different plot lines that all just kind of come together in the literal last like 3 minutes of the show, so that Trevor can fight the quote unquote death, and then whatever the end. until the sequel series, which I have not seen.
Oh, I was about to say, you talk about Nocturne. I haven't watched
No,
that
I've
one.
I've not watched Nocturne.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
watched that one either. I don't really want to watch it. I feel like that one should have been
you know,
based.
it's pretty fucked up in the last season of Castlevania where Alucard is like having like sex with those like two twins in a
That wasn't the last season. That was the
Yeah,
second season.
second to last. Yeah, that was pretty fucked up. What happened there with that incestuous three-way right there?
Which is why I think they probably should have ended that on the first season and then gone straight into the next Castlevania thing. You know, like maybe made Nocturne prior to that. But yeah, who knows? I was right, by the way.
yeah. I like all 4 seasons of Castlevania, but I do think it would have been a stronger series if it was just the first 2 seasons. And I'll end it with defeating Dracula.
Yeah, so Mel is in like her own weird like piece of time space. And it seems like her aide got like sacrificed to send her to this, to get sent to the crystal. But yeah, like there's really nothing going on. Like she kind of figures it out, like a way to kind of like break the spell, but she doesn't actually break the spell.
She just sort of realizes
Like
that.
yeah, I don't really care if that's jumping ahead to episode 6. Like this is all happening in a vacuum, so
Yeah, it's
like
Yeah,
best to
we
just
do get confirmation that something with like the stuff on her back can create like some kind of protective barrier or whatever because
Mhm.
she's able to break out of the black rose thorns.
Yeah, she's
yeah.
got light magic force field ray shield going on.
Yeah, Mel is magic. She may or may not realize this fact though, which would maybe be like a feature of her um adult
Bloodline, maybe. I don't know.
or yeah, or the fact that she's like, out of an out of wedlock child.
Either way, it's like you said, somewhat isolated and kind of doesn't seem to matter. And it matters. It matters to the Black Rose Society people who are. Uh, I found out earlier minions not of Swain but LeBlanc. If you don't know who that character is, good. The show doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
But
Um
but apparently she's got some sort of involvement in this that they've not yet told, and probably won't. I guess I don't know.
yeah, that please don't. That's just going to add another weird thing. There's a scene where I kind of liked where they run into like Vander's old like office and it's like and they find like a letter from Vander. I like it. It was kind of a good scene. I feel like they kind of had that in there to like make Silco's I don't even want to say like rehabilitate his character, but like they kind of put that in there to like I don't know humanize his character a little bit more, which I think
I
he
don't
was
think that was even necessary.
yeah,
Like,
it wasn't necessary. I still like the scene though, where they find that old letter from Vander to Silco, and like both the sisters have like a bonding moment.
hey,
And
remember
then
these dudes that hated each other? They actually liked each other at one point. Maybe us two that now hate each other can go back to liking each other. It's like the letter, but reversed.
Yeah,
yeah,
this show is not subtle about its parallels,
but for the modern audience, sometimes you need to beat them over the head with a stick.
All the time, really.
and you'll still get the media literacy crowd getting it wrong.
I'm actually selling some hickory sticks that you can beat people over the head with. This could cost about like $5 a stick. Really, really good, really high quality audience beating sticks. I'm making a killing off of it too. Hollywood can't buy enough of these things.
So next goes into Jinx. No, Vi is having a fight with Vander, and I think Jinx tries to like stop Vi from like beating their dad to death. And then they have like the scene where it's like they're like hugging afterwards. So
Also, Mute Girl hugs it. Isha or
yes.
whatever.
Hmm.
Yes,
And in the
Isha,
most
who is here the
in the
whole time, can shoot
Yeah,
cancer
yeah.
from her hands.
Even
I
the
just I rewatched a bunch of Solid JJ bits, and that one's been in my head the whole time. The oh what that's just Zarbar. He's been here the whole time.
Yep.
even the hugging scene with them was kind of awkward about her. She just kind of comes in at as the last one, just like hugs the outside of like a thigh or something.
And I'm trying to know, the episode doesn't end there. There's more.
I'm like skimming through all three of the Mel scenes are in this episode. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
her meeting
okay.
her brother, her like just starting to figure things out with her brother, and then finding out that it's not her brother. It's all in this episode, all in the span of like 10 minutes, with intercuts of like Jinx and Violet talking, and Mbessa convinces Singe to help out and track the werewolf, and that's also when we get like Singe backstory and well a little bit of it with him being Mr. Freeze. Yeah, like this episode has a lot going on and does not spend a whole lot of time on any of its singular beats, which is the
Yeah, I
exact
don't.
opposite of the prior episodes.
Yeah, the pacing I think this is definitely like an episode 6 part to like really start complaining about stuff, but as a teaser, like the pacing is coming off the tracks in like this batch of episodes. It's not bad in what in 4, and it just gets progressively worse. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that happens? Because they have the singed bits. They
Uh,
have some stuff with Victor and like his cult. Shit.
I thought that didn't happen. They didn't come up on them until the last one.
Yeah.
Well,
I might be wrong.
during the Violet Vander fight is when we get a kind of confirmation that Violet's parents, or at least her mom, was like all buddy buddy with Vander and Silco back in the day. They
Oh dang,
mention
that was
they mention another name here, and it's clearly they're talking about Violet and Powder's dad. Like she tells them that she's pregnant, and they're like, oh, does so and so know? Like, not yet. And then later on we get more flashbacks. I think that's in episode 6 where we get more flashbacks, and we actually like see Vander, Silco, and then Violet and Powder's mom and dad all like 4 together, and then like Silco's not there while Vander is like playing with the kids with mom and dad watching. But
I don't know why I thought that flashback was in episode 6.
the like the very artsy flashbacks are, but the first flashback with Silco, Vander, and Ma at the bar is in episode 5. And then yeah, at the very end of this episode, we get the crippled dude who is no longer crippled finding Jace. Jace just like teleports out of the negative zone, and he's got a beard, and the little hex crystal thing is now like imbued in his wrist. His hammer is covered in that like that hex gunk stuff. And
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, it's been mutated. Yeah, it looks cool.
he's a little unhinged. He's crashing out hard. Like I said, this is just crash out central. Everybody's crashing out, and Jace might be crashing out harder than Violet, considering how this batch ends. Um,
I
and
love
yeah,
Jace's character.
I do too. He's probably my favorite character. Like him and Victor, I really like. But yeah, he's like, we have to destroy it at all costs. I'm sorry. Then he just kills this dude, just liquefies him with his hammer.
I'm pretty sure he might have like eaten Heimerdinger and Echo at this point. Like I didn't see anything of them at all. I think Jace might have had to cannibalize those
Yeah,
guys.
they don't show up at all. This entire
I
like.
think they might have all fused. Like because
I, I,
we see when we see Victor in episode 6, we see that his assistant, the one chick who got absorbed into the hex core, has like gained sentience inside of him and is like helping him out from inside his conscious. I think the same thing might be going on with Heimdinger and Echo inside of Jace. That's my theory.
I wish I had like a schizophrenic, like my schizophrenia manifested as a woman who was just unquestionably in love with me, but also like my muse and paramour at the same time.
So
Like,
you want to be
man,
a Reddit user?
where's my gun? I'm gonna kill myself real quick.
It's called having a waifu, guys.
That's
Okay,
called
Yeah.
being a
actually
weeb.
high class.
Oh wait, I already have that. It's just, and I'm not schizophrenic. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, so that kind of gets into episode 6. And I'm trying to remember how it starts. Is it, or did the Singed, Caitlyn, and Besta talk happen in 5, or was that in 6?
Them like creating the thing that can track down Vander happened in episode 5. But
Yeah.
they don't like get it up and running and start putting it to use until episode 6.
Either way, at some point, either at like the end of episode 5 or beginning of episode 6, they Singe tells them why he's a mad scientist, and it's because he's Mr. Freeze and has a dead wife that he wants to bring
Yeah,
back.
my wife and or daughter is dead inside this casket as she's literally being suspended in like fentanyl vapors. I mean, shimmer vapors.
Yeah. But yeah, episode 6 starts off with Victor full like he has ascended beyond crackhead Jesus. He is now crackhead Dr. Manhattan, seeing the whole of creation from a god's eye view and seeing the wonders of the universe inside of his brain, while his schizophrenic waifu uh, talks him up.
It's Tulpa. That's what it is. It's a Tulpa. But
Also,
yeah, cause she's basically gassing him up the entire time.
she's like, "Yeah, dude, you're such a cool wizard scientist guy, for sure. The You totally get everything about like this cool chaos power and stuff. Sonic's Chaos Emeralds ain't got shit on you, babe."
But yeah, then we got Caitlyn getting adopted by Mbessa and being um they're training. She's like, "You're like
They're-
the daughter I never had." Like, wait, don't you actually have a daughter? Where is she anyway?
She doesn't like Mel. Mel's too soft.
Also, I don't think she can even really do anything because like Mel just got
Well,
teleported
yeah,
away.
but does she even
Doesn't
know
Bessa
that?
even know?
She saw it happen, didn't she? I thought she was there
Or
when she got snatched, wasn't she?
I'm trying to remember.
I think she knows. Like, I think she
I
saw
think
like
s-
the effect. Like, oh, she has to know.
I think
Like, she
someone
had to. Like,
notified her.
she yeah.
I can't remember though, but I think someone notified her that it happened.
I mean, if Mel just goes missing for no reason, I think she would just automatically
Yeah.
assume it would probably have been the Black Rose people that hated her and wanted to fuck with her.
Yeah, because they definitely like made the threat last season.
That is correct. Yeah, they have that scene of adopted daughter, adoptive mother bonding, which like is cool and like it's cool and all, but like with stuff that happens on later in the episode, I'm just like, okay, like yeah. So, and then I think that's whatever he has Singe gets that shows off the device for the tracking, and then I think it cuts to Jinx and Violet showing up to
Jonestown.
see Jonestown. Yeah, that's another appropriate term for what happens to Vander. Jace agrees to treat Vander, and Vander's like, oh sick, this is a real challenge right here, this will be awesome.
You are like mixing up everybody's name and Victor.
Yeah, it's
They're
bad.
very mix-upable, to be fair. Like,
There's a lot of characters in this show, and I'm not even like drunk or anything. I only had one like big tall boy Modelo that's not even like, I can still drive.
Don't
You
worry,
can't stop
I
me.
I called
Vander
Vander
cycle.
Xander like 5 times last week.
Nice.
None of you bothered to correct me.
Everybody knew who you were talking about. It's no big deal.
But yeah, Victor's like, "Oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna take like all my crackhead Jesus strength." But you know what? He seems like a pretty cool dude, so it's gonna be worth it.
You know what, Jinx and Vi, you suffered under this oppressive system. I'll do it just for you.
And then Mbessa has to go and mess everything. Although Mbessa does not succeed in messing anything up here. they kind of like
Yeah,
they kind of like get her number and totally fucking play her like a fiddle. And then Jace comes in and messes everything up instead.
yeah, Jace. Oh, dude, I love Jace. So, because the next seed is just like the Piltover and Noxian show up. Singed goes in first and basically talks to Victor. I love how Singed can just like show up and just like vomit nonsense to Victor, and then Victor's like, "Oh, no way, bro, you're right. Like that, you're totally right." Like I'm impressed about like how his character is able to do that.
They start debating about evolution, and Victor, who is very much portrayed as like the more enlightened and good character, also espouses some stuff that was used as the basis of evolutionary racism. So,
Totally.
not sure what the French meant by that.
Well, I mean, his deal was basically Calvinism, though. Really.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm talking about
it's
like the evolution has a destination. Like that line was used to justify some very bad things in the 19th century. But go off, King.
I do like how Singe seems to be the most reasonable person in this little like philosophical debate.
Sins is just like, dude, like, first off, you're gonna get fucked up if you don't do what I say. Like, we got an army waiting outside, bro.
Singe doesn't care like who he's aligned with as long as he's allowed to do science to bring his wife and or daughter back. Like he's like, whatever, I don't care. It's like, you want me to make you monsters? Okay, cool. So
I
like
was doing that anyway.
yeah, like I was already doing that. I'll just keep doing it. Like, cause for Singe, it's like the world losing Victor, like physically pains like that could happen, like physically pains Singe, where he's like, no, like you could do a lot of good for this world, unlike me, who is a wanted war criminal in Nuremberg and Leipzig. So I do like that bit. Violet goes out to like try and spy on the Noxian camp,
Yeah,
and then
she follows Singed out
yeah,
of the
she follows
camp
Singed out.
because
Yeah.
she wasn't there for the conversation. She's just like, I know who that guy is. He is a war
Bad
criminal.
news.
So with some healthy skepticism, she follows him and then gets jumped by her ex girlfriend.
Yeah, for some domestic violence, not helping those stats out there.
It kind of
I
has
like it.
it has a weird cut that it then like cuts back to because they wanted the revelation to be like shocking that, oh my god, Caitlyn is a good guy. Who would have who would have
Yeah.
thought after she was a
Who would
bad
have
guy for a
thought?
whole like episode and a half.
Yeah, media, I distinctly recall you saying at some point in time that you liked how this show never did the thing where during a fight scene it has a flashback to explain how a character won a fight scene. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, I did say that.
yeah, well, looks like the shoe's on the other foot now. Here, let me go and have a flashback to how it was that I was always going to actually be right about that right now.
I am not editing that.
He's like, fuck that. I'm not relisting that whole podcast. Caitlyn captures Vi. I do like how Vi
Captures,
just like
quote
immediately
unquote.
starts flirting with Caitlyn. Like she's. I don't know who's more down bad for the other is the question. I still think it's Caitlyn. It's a shame
Yeah,
that Celtic Phoenix couldn't come on. He's the lesbian expert. He could tell. He could inform us on this.
the Les Whisperer.
Yeah, I haven't watched his reactions yet, but I might at some point. I should at some point watch his reactions to this just to gauge his reaction because we haven't talked about this at all. I'm not even sure he realizes that I am now watching Arcane because I was pretty adamant a few years ago about not watching this show.
To be
But
fair,
then we
it's
dragged you in.
Well, to be fair, there's not a whole lot else going on right now. Like this is probably like one of the most top tier things you could be watching. And that's not saying much of the media landscape at the moment.
Yeah, like what else is there? The ReZero season, whatever, and Dandadan's good at
Dandadan's
least.
good. Oh yeah, Damachi, what, season 4 or 5?
Yeah, I think it's like the 5th season of that. Yeah, they talk. She's been captured, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Ambessa begins talking to her about I forget what exactly. It probably didn't matter that much.
And Bessa literally says, like, I'm glad you left. Because you had like basically she's like, yeah, I couldn't have like done what I did to Caitlyn if you were around. So
Now
like,
I can manipulate the soul of a woman to be a Nietzschean Ubermensch, ultra giga Chad in my image. Mel, who's that? Forget
wait,
about.
is Mel just female Yakub?
I guess probably.
Uh,
I was thinking of Star Wars. Uh,
uh,
how like Palpatine basically manipulated things to where Anakin and Obi-Wan were separated at like the worst times for them to be separated.
Caitlyn no longer needs you, Vi. I got her Anne of Green Gables look-alike to fulfill all of her sexual urges.
and then she does the bits like, oh, I learned like 3 things, from my dad, which I forget what was the stuff that she said.
I
She
remember
then
one of
hits.
them was be patient because you're like, yeah, I still don't get that one. Like, at least you're honest. Oh, and I don't remember what the first one was. The second one was be patient. The third one was just shut the fuck up.
And then she hits Bessa with the net gun from Aliens versus Predator 2.
Then just this freaking fake out thing with freaking Jinx pointing the pistol, totally pointing it at Caitlyn as her and Singed are like with Vander, and then Caitlyn chokes Singed out. Zangief tries choking Caitlyn out, and then Jinx blasts him in the fucking face.
Vi really had the opportunity to kill 2 birds with one arcane hextech pistol bolt, but she really only decided to kill 1 bird. Oh wait, she doesn't even get the kill. Never mind. I retract my statement.
Yeah, Vander goes full Caesar and is like, "Roar!" And then
And I,
kills Zangief.
yeah, and I think and basically just winds up like starting to rampage through all the dudes as one does.
And I think intercut with like all this going on.
Well, as he like is uh, beating on Zangief, that's when Jace shows up and just fucking annihilates Victor. Just no
Yeah,
questions asked, no talking, just no faffing about. He just like shows up, stumbles around the camp, has like PTSD episodes from him seeing the abyss in it, staring back at
Yeah,
him, and then he just unloads on Victor.
yeah. Jace enters screen left. Victor center stage. Jace, hey Victor, Victor, hey Jace, Jace shoots Victor. Exit stage
Victor
right.
doesn't even get a word in. His
Yeah,
eyes literally start to open, and Jason's just like, "Nope, I ain't got time for that." Like, if he starts talking, I'm gonna start having second thoughts and pussy out. Nope, I'm not. Nope.
yeah. Which I love Jace's character in Arcane.
he's cool. I wish I
Yeah,
knew why he was doing any of that, but maybe they'll tell me. Who knows?
I mean,
the
I think insanity is a good enough explanation.
yeah, being
He's seen
trapped.
stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't even looking to stare at the abyss. The abyss found him and stared into him.
So yeah,
Okay, so
the whole camp goes Jonestown because their savior died. They start like writhing in pain. Some of them, it looks like they just drop dead, and then Vander, he starts freaking like crying lava, which is so metal. Like there's no explanation for why he has that effect and nobody else does, but it looks
yeah,
cool.
that's a cool scene. It's a cool scene. Um,
Yeah, it's weird. And I don't know.
yeah, Vander that is basically like a one-man army.
Yeah.
trying to remember. Is
Yeah,
there a second fight?
And Bessa comes in. She
Yeah.
apparently like got out of the net off screen. A lot of off screen development, both plot and
Mhm.
character wise in this batch. This is why a lot of people are saying that this season is feeling rushed. But yeah, they're all like jumping Vander, stabbing him with spears, and then little kid grabs the pistol, overcharges it with like 2 hex cores, and then cut to black. So maybe rip, maybe not. Maybe this is a fake out. We'll have to find out. Well, people who watch this as soon as it drops will find out before this podcast is even up, because the
Yeah,
episode
as we're
comes out
recording on the
tomorrow.
22nd
Yeah,
of
I will.
today.
I will probably be finding out Monday or Tuesday when I finally sit down to watch the next episode. Um, then you'll be able to hear our thoughts about it next week.
Well,
Mhm.
it might actually take a while because I got to go to my family's for Thanksgiving, so I don't know if
Oh
I'll
shit!
be
Is
back.
that's right? Next week is
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, so
we might
it
need to
might be a
do
while before that.
So that covers the season. My thing. So I think the pacing is really shit the bed in this like batch of 3 episodes. There's like too many characters, and it's like they're trying to like get this all tied up.
And
Up.
I don't think they're not even really tying up a lot of it. It doesn't seem like a lot of it is just sort of like left hanging. Uh, like I said, I don't the the mechanics of like I'm not too big on you need to explain every detail of your little magical orb thing, but I would at least like to know some of what is going on with regards to like why Jace feels the need to do all of this stuff, why uh, what exactly Victor is even talking about in a less esoteric not way that kind of makes it seem like it makes sense what he's doing. There's a lot of things with this that are not really explained. Nothing really about Mel is explained all that good. Like
Yeah, other than she's like running from the Black Rose, and
except
like
she also
Caitlyn
saw it.
deciding to like turn on Mel with like, I mean, you could maybe argue that like, oh, her detective mind, I sussed it out that Mbessa was manipulating me.
Manipulating you to do what though? Like
Yeah, with Caitlyn. So like, yeah, like I don't buy like the instant like changeover for Caitlyn. Like it feels rushed. There's no like real payoff. It just happens.
like I can kind of maybe see her like uh, it's a flimsy reason, but it's somewhat good enough that like when she sees Vi, she's kind of like decides to kind of cave to her and uh, not fuck her over that hard. Then again, knowing actual woman, I feel like if she saw her ex, she'd probably want to betray her and ruin her life as hard as humanly possible if that was the case. So like, you know, I'm I don't particularly like how quickly that uh situation got resolved. How it came about in the first place is also never really explained. They're just broke up at the start of these 3 episodes
Yeah,
for
like yeah, to be like Caitlyn's heel turn, just like it doesn't. If you play League, it's like, oh, okay, like they're like on good terms, but like
I mean,
you you
it
know
just doesn't amount to anything, because like you said, like
it's cheap.
it happens. They're just broken up. They don't talk about what happened. They don't talk things out at all. And then literally the next time they run into each other, they're buddy again. Is like, what was even the point? Like, all of
yeah,
this
what
with Caitlyn could have happened with Violet still on the payroll. Like
pretty much.
they didn't need to be like fully broken up for any of this stuff to happen. She could have still been like being like, hey, while you're doing this, run in town or whatever, I'm gonna just keep I'm gonna take a break, crash out a little bit because I'm frustrated. Maybe like find Jinx, find out what she's doing. You're coming in with the sledgehammer. I can slide in with not a scalpel because I'm not smart enough, but at least like something smaller than a sledgehammer, a
Just
chisel.
a normal. Yeah, just yeah, or an ice pick. You know.
I think it was just a sort of like gin up drama. It seems like it seems like a lot of the stuff that occurred during all of this stuff was just there to try and like create some feels out of nowhere. Like I said earlier, I don't think Warwick ever should have been Vander. I don't think Vander should have ever been brought back to life. He died in a really cool way in the first season. They should have left him like that. Warwick should have literally just been a mutant wolf. That's all he needed to be. He
Yeah,
didn't,
or just some guy.
yeah, like that is another thing. If they wanted to completely introduce a new character, they could have also given him the flashbacks, and they would have at that point been necessary flashbacks so that we would actually know what the hell was going on with this new guy, why he was important. Instead, they gave us what we essentially already knew about Vander, which was that he was friends with V and Jinx's parents and with Silco at some point in the past, and now he's sad about it instead of being dead about it, which was what we had thought he was prior. That I don't like. That was very artificial to me, and I don't like how they have Jinx have a mute sidekick girl who is probably just there to, like I said, gin up drama out of nowhere. Like she's maybe she's dead now. Oh man, you should feel like some sympathy for this girl who had no lines and did nothing except get in the way of various characters doing stuff. No, I don't. I'm a cruel, evil, misanthropic human being. I'm Coop, okay? I am the singed of our universe, okay? I'm not going to find any sympathy for something like that. You got to work way harder to get me to care.
Yeah, it takes more than a little kid to get sympathy. I feel like I said that about something else that we've talked about in the past. It was
Oh,
Solo, the Star Wars movie with the little
Uh,
ginger girl, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier doing the same exact plot line with the same exact actress. Having a little ginger girl is very cheap emotional exploitation to try to earn sympathy without actually putting in the writing to earn sympathy.
I don't even think Savika was in this episode at all. Like past like the first episode of this like three
Yeah, no, she
episode
she
act.
was she was in episode 4, and then that's it.
I forget. Did they actually? They did bust her out of prison, though, didn't they? I
Yeah,
think.
they all escaped.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
unless Savika died to Warwick.
No, Savika didn't go to prison. And she lost her arm during the riot and then escaped. Told Jinx, and then that's the last time we saw her. So
Oh.
as far
Yeah,
as
and
she
Oh.
knows,
but
so as
they're
far as
but
she knows, Jinx hasn't even finished getting
no, no,
them
no.
out.
Savika was there with Jinx. That was the prisoner there that she was bringing in while disguised as a god.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I
Who
literally
were they?
just skimmed the episode like less than an hour ago and
They
still
were just
forgot.
trying to break out like all the other people who were rioting at that point,
Yeah.
which was interfered with by the the Wolfman comingeth. So, did they actually bust the rest of those people out? I can't. I
I
think.
think that I think they escaped. We see them like kind of like running away uh
Okay.
as Caitlyn and the others are coming in.
Okay. So they do that, and I assume Savika then went with them. Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Escorted them out. Yeah, because Jinx like tells her to like go and get the people out of there while she can like 1v1 Daddy Wolf.
Yeah. Okay. And then that was the last time we saw her, I think.
Yeah. So that's all I got. I think we've talked about everything that I want to talk about.
Yeah, and we've mentioned like the issues with this episode. It's just there's like a really bad heel turn that has like no build up or payoff. It just happens. So like yeah, I mean I don't really know what there's else to talk to.
I
I
think
just hope that
it would just kind of like be better if they were somehow able to better interweave things with each other, or at the very least not put in so many things that are like extraneous and unnecessary. Because I think like the Mel thing especially has like no bearing on anything else that's going on, and
I'm sure they'll find some way to tie it in with what's going on with Jace in the next episode or two.
yeah,
I
we'll
I
see.
don't know if that's even the plan. I wonder if like we've all been uh trapped in this the entire point of Arcane was that it was just meant to be like a spin-off generator, and they're going to make like dozens of other interconnected series that go off of this thing afterwards just to try and like squeeze more cash out of people somehow.
I mean, I kind of am excited to like Noxia and see some of the people there, or like the ice zone with Berserk Man and his hot elf wife.
Yeah, Freljord.
Yeah, Freljord, or like it'd be cool to have like Braum show up and like beat someone over the head of a fucking like door. Uh,
Ron wasn't he from Ionia? I forget
I
where he.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
uh, you got anything to say to wrap up for? Because like really that's my issue. Is just like those like the pacing is like really getting like is really hurting right now. And there's that one thing that there was no build up or payoff. It just happens. Is like really my only issues. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's about
well,
it for me.
we'll check in after Thanksgiving, as per usual. Buy my books. A link to my bookstore page will be in the description. Join the Discord. Follow us on Twitter and yada yada yada. Then yeah, we'll see you same bat time, same bat channel, except not the same bat time because
Fine. Same turkey.
holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.